We can see your screen.
You can use the emojis to confirm that you can hear me. And yeah, thank you, Sirisha, Shiva, and everyone for confirming. So let me proceed. So let me talk about the course. This course is completely focused on DevOps, and we will learn the core DevOps here. It could be implemented on on-prem or any cloud, irrespective of the platform. We will learn DevOps here. Means by the time you complete this course, you will be able to implement DevOps on any platform. Right? That is the agenda of this course. And also, like this course, like this is a demo class. Like a demo class is nothing but intro and to check what all we cover and all. And we have two demo classes, 27th and 28th. You can attend any one of them. Okay, and by the end of the class today, I'll be revealing some best offers for the candidates who join the webinar today. So stay tuned and stay focused for some 1 to 1.5 hours today. And the actual class begins from 6th March, sorry, 6th October, and it is for 2 months. Every day it will be 7:30 to 9 o'clock is the time, like Indian time, and it is for 2 months. Right. So let me talk about main points about the course before we jump into the topic. So this course is for 2 months, and we have passive learners also to the course. Means we have students across the globe who can't join the session because of the time zone difference. They'll watch the recordings, meaning you'll be getting recordings of every day. Right. Every day you'll be getting assignments. Every day you'll get the notes. You will have the lab support. You will have access to interview questions on each and every topic, and we will also help in resume building. And every day you will also have quiz on the particular topic covered to recheck your understanding and register your learning. Right. And also there will be so many questions about DevOps, particularly the DevOps, like who should learn it, why you should learn it, am I eligible for it, how to switch to DevOps. All these questions will be covered in the class today. Apart from this, I'm talking about why you should take up this course. So these are all the things you have. And another question you would be having is 2 months enough for this course? Yes, 2 months is enough if you have perfect planning and if you have perfect path laid. This course is curated by me personally with all my experience. I had a vast experience into DevOps, worked on on-prem, worked on cloud, and also I have worked on an MNC. I have worked in a startup. I know the work culture everywhere. I know the work pressure, what are all the tasks or what are all the concepts people should focus on. So I have curated this course, bringing all my personal experience, like all my professional experience into it. Right. So the main thing is how we design the course, how we plan the course, how we curate the topics. So you can have access to the, like once you register to this course, you will be given access to the LMS. LMS is a learning management system. Right. Learning management system will be given access to all the enrolled candidates. If you just want to experience, everyone can go to this LMS trial access. Right. This trial access is nothing but you can just go to the website. Here you can go to the login. Like you can log in with your Gmail. Right, go to the Gmail and log in. Once you log in, you'll be able to log into your LMS. Means once you create your account, you'll be logged in. Because I already have an account, I can log in with my Gmail. Create an account with your Gmail and log in, which is absolutely free, and you'll get a trial access. Everyone can have free trial access so that to experience the LMS here. This LMS plays a major role for the successful trainings. Right, let me show you this LMS one by one. If you just go here, yeah, go to my learnings. Right here, you will be seeing a course like a batch, October 6th batch, where you will see the trial videos. Let me take you to some batch which I am a participant there, which I have enrolled to, which I have access to. So this is how you will have the LMS. Every day class recordings will be placed here. Right, you can see the intro and then all the Git videos and so on. So you can see all the I got into the LMS access. That's okay. So you get the recording every day posted here, like Git first class, second class, third class, Docker first two, and so on. So you get all of these things here, and beneath the video itself, you will have lab exercises relevant to that particular topic, quiz relevant to that particular topic, interview questions relevant to the particular topic. It's not all the dump we are giving, rather we have segregated it, right? So this is the lab you have to do for that particular class. This is the quiz you have to take up for a particular class. These are the interview questions relevant to the particular class. Means you are getting thorough, you are getting master each and every day. It's not that you learn completely after the course, right? Which makes it very difficult. So we learn and master and be job ready each and every day. By the time you complete this course, you'll be able to showcase your resume, like you will be able to market your resume. That's how every day you will have these things in this LMS, right? Hope this much is clear for all of you. Everyday lab assignments, quiz, interview questions. Now, okay, let's suppose I have an interview scheduled within 2 days. I don't have time for 2 months. Let's suppose I have interview scheduled this Monday. You have interview questions, all of them topic wise also, like tool wise. Like if you just go to Docker, let's say your job description is asking for Docker expertise, you have all the interview questions. Again, those interview questions are beginner level, intermediate level, advanced level, scenario based, right? So you have everything here. You don't have to struggle, go all over the place and search and all. And also these are not just the questions dumped from the internet. These are created from my means real interview questions from my practical experience as I sit in the interview panel or from the students who have attended the interviews, right? And particularly this interview question section has got a lot of demand from the people, like lot of best feedbacks from the people who has cleared their interviews by going through this interview questions, right? If you want to try all the lab at once, yes, even you have them topic wise, you can also go through, right? So that's how you have day wise exercises, all of them at one place. Also you have all the assignments, everything, right? So this is about the thing. So that's how we have designed, so that whatever topics market needs, you can learn. Just I can teach Kubernetes alone for a year. That will not work, right? You don't have to learn all those components which we don't use. What are the market needs? What are the questions you will be facing in an interview? So that's how this is created, and we'll be covering all those topics here. That's how we will be market ready within 2 months. We need your dedication, time and effort for these 2 months, where you have to spend time after the class for practicing these things, right? So this is the high level picture of what is here. So we'll be preparing you with the hands-on, with the interview questions, with the resumes, with the quiz, so that you can test your understanding. We'll get the quiz results as well. You can retake the quiz so that you make your learning perfect, right? So these are all the things we have. So this is about LMS, and this is how we have planned it. Any questions from anyone over this part? These are the important things one should know before you get into the course. Actual topic starts from 6th October. Today, I'll give you an overview of the course and also intro to what is DevOps, who are all should learn DevOps, who are all eligible to learn this. Good to proceed. Can I go on? Any questions from anyone?
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, hi, good morning, ma'am. So, my question is like, I have current 2 years gap. So, how many years of experience can I show after this training, maybe? Uh,
Irrespective of the gap, this training covers from the basic. Every topic I'll take up from the basics till
yes.
exam, right? Like I assume, like I have people from different backgrounds, different experience levels. I have people from science background, I have people from computers background, I have people with 1 or 2 years experience, I have freshers, I have project managers also with 18 plus, 20 plus experience. So every topic will be dealt in such a way that we'll cover from basics till advanced, right? So that's how I have created it. So every topic will be dealt with it. So irrespective of the gap, you can claim up to 3 to 4 years if you can master the course or master the topics which I explain here. Also, we'll be helping with mock interviews. That's how you can also try out like your evaluate your knowledge and be prepared before you go for the interviews.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we need any coding knowledge?
Coding knowledge is not required. Okay, DevOps team will not write the code. There will be still development team. DevOps teams are not replacing development teams. Listen this and please remember everyone. DevOps teams are not replacing developers. There is still development team. There is still testing team. Okay, then comes the DevOps team. So DevOps team will not write the code. Okay, you might be seeing job descriptions with Python, shell scripting. Those are good to have for automation, but not for like web development and all. Those are good to have but not mandatory. Okay, yeah, I see questions regarding shell scripting and Python. Let me tell you, shell scripting, Python are good to have skills, not mandatory for DevOps. And also, let me give you an example. Suppose you are seeing a job description which is mainly focusing on shell scripting, which where they were looking for Linux administrator to use shell scripting in their DevOps, then that role is not for you. Means I wouldn't suggest to go for this role. Means because they were still relying on shell scripting. Rather, there were so many tools which are replacing shell scripting and which can automate the things better. If they are still stuck up with a shell scripting, means that's a legacy project. So let's assume there is one JD which asks for a deep shell scripting kind of thing or a Python. Let's say there is another JD which is asking for Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. So this is the actual DevOps role. Even though it is the other one is named as DevOps engineer, if you go there, your career will be stuck up there. Would you choose some role with Kubernetes, Docker, or something with shell scripting? Kubernetes, Docker, Terraform, these are the highest demanded ones in the market and the highly paid ones, and which has got a lot of future. So which one do you go for? Both are named as both are given the job. I mean the designation as DevOps engineer. So it should be your choice. Also, not that let's say there are 100 JDs, you will not be available. I mean, you will not be fit for all the 100 JDs. You decide which one you would like to go. Let's suppose some people come to me and say, I'm already a developer, or I already Linux admin, I'm into shell scripting. Then you may go for it. But again, future concern, future questions, would you get opportunities as a Kubernetes engineer or a dev or a shell scripting person? So you decide and choose the role. Not that every JD fits you. Don't get confused. Don't get overwhelmed by going through this JD. Sometimes JDs are just copy and paste. And let's say if you still like when you sit in the interview panel, they are deep driving, drilling on the shell scripting, that's not for us. Our focus is to become a DevOps engineer rigorously using those DevOps tools which has demand in the future, which has a good market pay. So this is how we should decide. So, and also let's say some people may have question, okay, why not I will learn all these tools and shell script. If you have 2 years of time, yes, do that. Learn shell scripting for 6 months, Python for another 6 months, all the DevOps tools you can master. To master them, it would take time. We are learning for 2 months. To master them, at least 6 months, it will take from your end to expertise them. So, which one, how much, if you have that much time, you will want to learn everything which are not demanded. That's up to you. So, you should be a person to choose which tools to choose, what is the right for the career, where you can financially grow as well, right? So that's a decision point you need to make. So yes, these are good to have skills. In the course, I'll cover basics of shell scripting, because anywhere if you come across, if you could understand a little bit, that will be fine. So that's how we'll put them in the course. Any more questions? Right. And you guys may be having another question like, okay, I'm a developer for 6 years. Can I become a DevOps engineer? Or else a middleware person for 8 years. Can I become a DevOps engineer? Right. Also, there might be a question. Let's say I'm a developer. I still want to continue as a developer only. But should I still learn DevOps? Isn't it? Should I still learn if I want to just continue as a developer? The answer is yes. Why? Why even developers should learn? Why testers should learn? Why everyone should learn it? All these questions will be answered with our discussion, which I'm going to just get started in a couple of minutes. Good to go, or any questions before that? I'll come to this lab setup and the LMS portal in a couple of minutes, but I would suggest everyone to create a free account there so that you will get a trial access to the LMS so that you can experience the management system, the learning portal. Any more questions? Feel free to raise your hand, unmute or speak out, or use the chat window. You have multiple ways you can
Is it
discussions.
Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps?
Like I already mentioned, DevOps is a methodology. It's irrespective of the platform. There'll be nothing like AWS DevOps or Azure DevOps or on-prem DevOps. People have named it as such. Okay, don't get into that fall. If there is nothing like different DevOps is existing in different platforms. DevOps is a methodology. It's irrespective of the platform. It's irrespective of the programming language in which your application is developed. It's irrespective of whether it is cloud or on-prem. It's a methodology basically. So how do you implement the methodology? Again, the tools are same. But there are cloud services are offering, I mean, cloud providers are offering certain services which can help implement DevOps on that particular cloud environment only. Okay, that's how there will be some services on AWS, some services on Azure, but when compared to the normal general DevOps, irrespective of the platform, those services are used maybe 2% or 3%. What are those? I'll also point out in this demo class. Hope I answered your question. So let me get ahead into the topic. So today's agenda is big picture of DevOps. Like we'll talk about like what is DevOps, why DevOps, who should learn, why we should learn, how it is implemented, where it is implemented, kind of high level things. Roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. What is the role of a DevOps engineer? What are his responsibilities? What is a delivery pipeline? What are the tools and skills? All of this we will learn today. Like just a high level picture, okay? The list of the tools I'm covering and all. So let's get started with understanding what is DevOps. There are many people who might be already aware of what DevOps is, who might be new to it. Just let me get started from the basics and let's get the things reviewed. Um, can you all see the screen? Right.
Yes.
Right. So let us talk about what is DevOps from the benefit of everyone, also to get started from the right path. So DevOps, if you see, it sounds as a combination between dev team and ops team. Like who are dev team? Like who are developers? Who write the programs? Who write the code, right? Programmers or developers, whatever you call them. They write the code, they design the application, they build the application, right, as per the client expectations. This is the major role of developers. Coming to operations team. Operations team is who look after the servers, services running on.
Ma'am, Preethi,
Yes, please.
ma'am, this is Surya here, ma'am. Ma'am, do we really require the Python for this DevOps?
Just now I answered this question, Surya. Hope you got it. I answered about shell scripting and Python, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Whatever I explained for shell scripting, same is applicable for Python also. Whatever I have explained as by taking example as shell scripting, same is for Python as well.
Okay. And ma'am, I think probably now AI is working with the Python scripting everything, right, ma'am? I think you can use
Surya,
that.
Surya, can we take up those questions in some time? I'm just in middle of this topic. Once I'm done, I'll come to your question again, right?
Yep, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks. So servers, services, networks, logins, access, right? All of this would be taken care by ops. In short, we can say infra management would be taken care by ops teams. And here, when I say developers, generally developers write the code. That code will be tested by QA professionals, quality assurance engineers, or testers, or whatever you call them. They will test the application, isn't it? If you are very new to testing, just understand developers will create the application. Okay, in layman terms, I'm telling you. Yeah, testers will test it. Okay, so this process keep on continuing. Like developers will build the application, they will test it. This keep on continuing till the application is defect free, bug free. The application should not have any defects, should not have any bugs. It should be reaching the client expectations. Until then, the application will be tested, and then it will be going for end users. End users means like people like us. Let's take an example of Amazon, a shopping application. We are using it means it has gone through all this process. So for our benefit and to keep the discussion simple, I'm including QA also into development team. QA means testers and developers. I'm just referring them as dev team. So dev team will work for developing, testers will test the application, and during this process of development and testing, if they need any new server or any new service on those servers, or else if there is if they need any modification on the user permissions, whatever, if they need any changes to the infra, they are not supposed to do it. They will request the ops teams. Ops teams should serve the request. But before ops team serve the request of development team or QA team, they have to do lot of checks. Means if this new service is started, is it going to impact any existing services? Or else any servers going to be down? They will check on the downtime. They'll check the stability of the system before they serve the request. Means which will take obviously some time. They are taking some time. Meanwhile, dev team, when I say dev and QA team, think that developers are always, infra team is always taking some time and they're still waiting for the change, right? So here also like infra ops team are taking some time to do that. Development QA team are waiting for the request to be served. There arises some gap between the teams. There is a gap because developers don't understand why ops team is taking so much time. Similarly, ops team is not understanding why developers would request all these changes all the time. Because ops team's focus is operations team will be focusing on stability of the application, stability of the infra. Whereas dev and QA team will look for agility in the infra. Agility not only in the infra, in the application, they need some changes. They need to bring in some new features, right? Till yesterday, maybe Amazon might be logging only with email. Now it is logging in with a mobile number also. So they have to bring in some features, they have to bring in some new changes. So they always work for agility, whereas ops team work for stability. Also, development team will be working on programming languages like C, C++, Python, Java, and so on. They'll be working on some build automation tools. They'll be working on some, of course, I included testing also. So they'll be using some test automation tools. Testing could be manual or automation, or again, there are different levels, types of testing. I'm not getting into it, but just giving you a brief. So they'll be working on programming language, building the application, testing the application. They'll be working on delivering the application, right? Whereas operations team will have knowledge on the servers, means infra management, admin part, right? Networking part, database, of course, database knowledge these guys will have, but database server configuration setup they'll do. So meaning if you observe, these are different teams. Their skill set are different. Their core competencies are different. So there is a gap, means they can't understand each other. They don't understand. Developers don't understand why ops team is looking for all of these things. Why can't they just provide whatever they ask it for? And ops teams think that why developers are asking these changes. They don't understand what are their challenges of other team. Hence, there arises a gap between the teams. It's not good to have gap between the teams, right? If they can properly, it means if they can well collaborate, the outcomes would be better. How can we make the teams collaborate? Yes, how can we make these teams collaborate with one another? How to eliminate this gap? Is there any way to eliminate the gap? I'm talking about, yes, I'm talking about why DevOps came in, right? So yes, the first reason is one of the reasons, it's not the only reason, to eliminate the gap between the teams. How to eliminate the gap? With the DevOps. But how? We'll talk about it in a while. Any questions? I'm seeing some questions in the Zoom chat window. I'll take up in few minutes. Okay, let me cover why DevOps, what is DevOps before I again come to the questionnaire. Right. So to eliminate the gap, is that the only reason? No, there are many other reasons, bigger reasons. The other reason is, like I told you, okay, developers have developed the application. They built the application. Okay, testers are testing it. They have tested it. Okay, this process keep on continuing till the application is defect free or till the application is bug free, whatever you call it, right? If any bugs, they'll send back to developers, they'll fix the code. I mean, they'll make changes to the code, they'll fix it. This process keep on continuing. Okay, let's suppose testers have given sign off. Application is ready. Okay, they have given the sign off. Then what next? Then comes the DevOps team. Oh, okay. Let me talk about ops. I'm talking about traditional approach. Okay, not the DevOps approach. So in the traditional approach, they will share this application to ops team. Application team have to, sorry, ops teams have to run this application on some servers and provide it to end users. That's called deployment. If anyone new here, deployment means, in layman terms, installing the application on the servers and provide it to end users. Okay, they have to install or run the application on the servers for end users to use it. So, okay, fine. Team has provided them with the app. After testing, they have to install it. So, to do this, first of all, ops team should know what are all the software needed to run this app, isn't it? What are all the packages? What are all the softwares needed? Not only that, they need to know which versions of them needed, isn't it? Let's say you are installing some application like Java, you need to install right version for it. Also, you have to do it on multiple operating systems like Windows, Linux, and so on, which will take definitely a lot of time. So to help them, QA team or development team also provide them instruction document with what are all the packages needed, what are all the softwares needed. But those instructions might not be understood by ops teams, or might not be working, or they might be working on some servers but not on other servers. They have to go through all this. They have to go through all these challenges, right? And finally deploy the application, which will take some months. Okay, this deployment will take some months. Let's say they have given this application in January, it may be going for deployment in the month of June, because they have to fix all these challenges and go for deployment. It is a time-taking process. Meanwhile, customers are waiting for the changes. Client want those features to be delivered, which is obviously taking a lot of time. Okay, this is one thing. Also, if something is broken, ops teams are responsible for high availability. So to see that system is always available, if something is broken, they should be able to fix it. These are all the challenges on ops teams. Because the instruction document provided by dev or QA team is not clearly understood by ops team, because their perspective, both teams' perspective is different. Their core competencies are different. So how to speed up this deployment process? How can we accelerate the speed of this deployment? How can we accelerate or improve the velocity of deployments? That's where again DevOps came in. How is it in DevOps? In DevOps, okay, I'll not deep dive here because you need to have the knowledge of Docker here. What I can tell is the way of handing over the application completely changed. In the traditional application, they are changing the artifact directly. Means dev team, QA team are just giving, let's say it's a Java application, there is some output file called, there will be some artifact. Artifact means output file, like a var file they were sharing in the traditional approach. But in DevOps approach, they'll not share the var file, rather they will share the, one second. Rather they will share the containerized image. What is that containerized image? That is a concept under Docker. They will share this image, right? Containerized image, which is coming along with the var file, along with all the dependencies. So ops team need not do all of these things. So ops team need not install these packages on the servers directly. They have to know. They'll just run the containerized and the deployment server, which happens in minutes, right? Means the way of handing over the application changed. Sometime back, I'm telling you, you are a developer, you still want to continue as a developer, you don't want to become a DevOps engineer because you like development a lot, but still you should learn it, because you are not just sharing the var file, you are not sharing the output file directly, you are containerizing it, sharing it. Means even developers, QA engineers should learn how to containerize it by learning Docker. Is this point clear for everyone? Can I have a quick thumbs up why everyone should learn it? The way of development, the way of deployment change, that's how it is becoming faster. But there is a wrong notion that because everyone is working together means, okay, DevOps person should go and write and they will write the code. That's how it eliminates the gap. No, that's not correct. It's because of the use of all these modern DevOps tools, the way of development deployment change, that is making DevOps engineers do end to end. That doesn't mean they write the code. Developers will still write the code. But how do you containerize it? Those things you should know. That's not development. That's a Docker tool. Am I making sense? And hope I answered the question from the people asking, should I know coding? Can I get all the confirmations?
Yes, yes, yes.
You can use thumbs up or unmute
Yes.
and confirm me, or use the chat window. This is actually very huge topic. Okay, just 10 minutes. I know I cannot make completely clear for you, but I'm trying to bring the point to erase your confusions. Okay, so that's the second point. That's how velocity is accelerated. Velocity is accelerated, deployments becoming faster doesn't mean that DevOps engineers are also writing code. Everyone is writing code and they are just deploying it. That's how it became faster. Or else they are working with us in the same team means everyone will do everything. No, it's a use of the tools in the right way that led to these benefits, right? So, okay, that's the second reason. And just I have given a glimpse of how DevOps have made a change. We'll deep dive into each part in our coming up topics, right? And the third thing, yeah, what are the other reasons? Are there any other reasons? Yes, of course. The other reason is challenges to overcome the challenges posed by traditional methodologies. Software development life cycle. What is software development life cycle? It is nothing but sequence of phases. Requirement gathering. I'm sorry. Requirement gathering, requirement analysis, requirement, gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing, delivery. So if anyone new to SDLC, don't worry. Here my point is not to teach the SDLC, just a glimpse of it. Like there are different phases. Like each phase goes one by one. First, requirements will be gathered from the client. Let's say I'm working for Amazon.com, a shopping application. Client is like Amazon, right? They'll provide me the requirements. Then I'll understand. I, in the sense, the development team, sit with business analysts, understand the requirements, then design the application, go for coding. Once coding is done, testing begins. After testing, you have delivery. These are all the different phases. Each goes one by one. And if you talk about, if you see clearly, yes, I'm talking about waterfall methodology, the methodology which served the industry for decades, right? But it has got many challenges for both developers and ops team. People struggled a lot within this model. First thing, this model is a time consuming, right? Let's say you write the code. Only after coding, testing begins. Like it just goes one after the other. There is no going back, and hence the name waterfall. It just goes in one direction from top to bottom. So developers will write the code immediately. It will not go for testing. It will go after some 6 months or so. So here they're writing the coding. Let's say they write the code. They write some code. And they started writing on some other new code. Then testers comes with the bugs on old code. Working on new code, fixing the bugs in the old code is a challenge faced by development team. It's not flexible. Let's say requirements are given in 2025. They're freeze. No more changes will be accepted, and the complete product will be delivered after 2027. Right? If you can't accept any modifications requirements within the 2 days, client will not need this product anymore. Business changes rapidly. It's a customer facing world, right? You can't just provide the requirements what you got in 2025. By 2027, there will be a lot changed. Okay, so this is one thing. It's not flexible. Also, the other challenge of complete software will be all delivered at once, like I told you. So these are all the challenges developers used to face because of this waterfall model. Similarly, ops teams also face challenges. They have to maintain the servers up and running throughout the process, have the process taking time. Maintaining uptime of the servers is a challenge. Poor configuration management, no proper configuration management. What is a configuration management? It's a separate topic. Ansible is a tool used for it. We will elaborate during that discussion. Right? Poor monitoring, no monitoring tools used, everything manual. So these are all the challenges. How to overcome these challenges? Actually, to overcome these challenges, there came Agile methodology. But Agile was successful only to overcome challenges of this team. But challenges of ops team are still there. Right? That's where again DevOps came in. With which, yes, we are able to overcome the challenges faced by both the development team and testing team. Is that both development team and ops team? Is that clear? How what DevOps does? We will look into it. Means the third reason is to overcome the challenges posed by other software methodology. So what is DevOps? It's a methodology. It's not a tool, or it's not a programming language, or it's not some software, or it's not a package, or it's not a platform. It's a methodology, it's a process, it's a cultural change. And also, we see people telling that, okay, DevOps is implemented from our project. From tomorrow onwards, we are migrating to DevOps. And after a month, DevOps is completed. No, DevOps is a continuous journey of implementation and implementation. It's about all improvements and implementation. It's a continuous process. You cannot achieve it in an overnight. People mindset should change. Means how exactly? In the traditional approach, there is a DevOps team, right? But now it's been replaced by DevOps team. What they'll do, they'll again do the same thing, but with the use of different tools. Unlike ops teams go and install the software packages with right versions on the servers, now DevOps team will run just that container on the multiple environments. They'll automate it. That's how it got changed. But it doesn't mean DevOps means it's a combination of development ops means okay, they are doing both development work and ops work. No. Am I clear? So let me here Agile has helped overcoming development challenges. Let me talk a bit about Agile here. In this context, let me talk a bit about DevOps.
Please go ahead, ma'am.
Yep. I will talk about Agile a bit before we get into DevOps. Let me talk about Agile. So, what is Agile methodology and how could it overcome the challenges of developers? Yes, it can overcome because in Agile, code will be developed in bits and parts. And also, they'll be released every 15 days. It's not that they are delivering after 2 months, right? What happens? Let's suppose on week one, they're developing a chunk of code, a bit of code, let's say A. Okay, on week two, immediately that A will go for testing. Means immediately they'll do testing on it. Here it is development, immediately testing. Meanwhile, developers will not sit idle on week two. They will develop another chunk of code B. Okay. So next week, that particular chunk of code will go for testing. Immediately, if it is going for testing, it's cost effective. It saves lot of time. It reduces pressure on developers because they just made the code last week. They could easily fix the bugs when they are brought up immediately. Also,
Exactly.
yes, also it's a cost effective, right? Also on week three or some week, definitely all of that would be merged and tested. Then only it makes a product. It makes a complete product, right? So it will be tested. Meanwhile, they'll be working on another chunk. So if you closely observe every week, developers are testing together, working closely. Let me put it as they are working closely means they are communicating, they are working closely, they are on the same lines, right? So they were brought together. Developers, testers, were brought together, were collaborated better because of this agile methodology. And yes, they could solve the problems of waterfall by implementing. This is what is continuous development means. Every week there will be coding, continuous testing every week or every day there will be continuous testing. Continuous integration means code, any feature developed will be merged and tested. So because Agile implemented continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, it could overcome the challenges of developers. But challenges of ops team is still there, like deployment and monitoring are still manual here. Deployment and monitoring are manual. Okay, so
Exactly.
Agile could solve it to certain extent. And also because every week they are doing coding, they are ready to accept any changes, any challenges they could accept, right? They could make modifications in the next release and so on. So it was good to certain extent, but still not completely. So that's where DevOps came in. What DevOps is doing? Let me tell you.
Automated, ma'am.
Right.
Hey, I have one question. Suppose a developer completed the development work. Now tester is testing. Okay, and then again developer is starting working on some another task. But tester raise the issues. Then developer will stop the development. Then they will resolve the issue like that.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
See, deployment, DevOps is nothing but continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring. Meaning, every week or every day, developers will write the code. Let's say they made some code today. That will be tested maybe immediately. Same day that can be tested with automation testing. Means developers will write the code. I'm also writing for the people who still have confusions. Okay, developers will write this code, which is continuous development. Testers, QA engineers will write the automation test cases. Okay, then that code will be integrated, right? Like any new code will be merged into the system and the entire system will be tested. And then continuous deployment means, let's say developer made some code today from the desk of a developer till it reaches the production table. The whole process is automated, which is nothing but DevOps. This entire process is automated, which is DevOps. This whole process automated, which is nothing but DevOps. So how is it automated? By implementing continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring. And this is called CI/CD pipeline. How do you create pipeline? How do you automate this process? Whoever interested to work in this path after developer writing a code till it reaches the production table is nothing but a DevOps engineer. Here, main point, after developer writing the code. So DevOps engineer is not writing the code. So whoever want to work in this path is nothing but DevOps engineer. This doesn't need coding skills. They need different DevOps strategies, different CI/CD strategies. They need to know tools like a Docker, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible, tool, and they need to know integrating test case into the pipeline. They will not write the test cases or they will not do anything. Testers will write the test case, but they have to know how to integrate that test case into the pipeline. Right? All of that is nothing but DevOps. And of course, any code written by developer will automatically hit the production servers. It sounds risky, right? But yes, that happens. Facebook is the best example which implements this DevOps. Of course, Facebook, Amazon, all the gigantic companies are implementing it. Any code written by developers will hit the production servers automatically. It doesn't mean that they're skipping testing and all. Everything is automated. They'll test it in different levels, different types. Again, they'll be deployed first into lower environments before they go to the prod. Even all of those steps are automated without any manual intervention. But that CI/CD pipelines are created by expert DevOps engineers, right? If you fall into this category, if you have interest to work in this part, anyone can become a DevOps engineer. You don't have to have a previous development knowledge. You don't have to have previous testing or previous database or no, nothing. Anyone can become a DevOps engineer if you master this area. This course is about mastering this area, right? So anyone with any experience levels, any backgrounds can focus on it. Let's say you are a developer, you would still want to continue as a developer. Still, you have to learn it because you are not just handing over the application as it is, you are containerizing it. That's one example I'm picking up. There are many as such. Also, your code is going through this pipeline. You should know what's happening in the pipeline. It's a methodology. That's why multiple teams are involved. DevOps is a methodology. Multiple teams are involved. So everyone should know that what is happening in that methodology. So everyone should learn it. The benefits are same day the features, end users can receive the features, faster deployments. That's what companies need, right? Faster deployments, end users see the features on the same day, right? It has overcome the challenges posed by the legacy models, legacy methodologies. That's what organizations need, right? Also, it's a complete automation, 24 by 7 automation possible. No manual intervention. Initially, more DevOps engineer will work on this pipeline. Later on, few people are needed here. Of course, there are other tasks like Kubernetes, Terraform. They have to shift to those areas then after creating the pipeline. So everything is automated, less manual intervention. Everything can be automated at any point of time. That's what companies need. Almost all the companies are implementing it, particularly the gigantic companies. But in couple of years, every company, even the small company, will also step into this because of its features. So it's a right time to invest your amount, efforts and time to learn such technologies, right? So this is people with this skill set will survive in the market in the coming future. Whether it is AI backed up or whatever it is, AI will not replace the DevOps engineer as it is. It can be a helping hand, it can be an assistant for us, but not replacing DevOps engineers. Why I'll touch base on that in some time. So you have to put your effort learning these tools. This is the right time to do that. Even though the market is not so great like every year, but still DevOps engineers are seeing the market, are seeing the opportunities. I have people with multiple offers also in hand, particularly for DevOps, Kubernetes, Docker, Jenkins, and so on, but not for other technologies like development and all, because we have enough candidates for development, we have enough candidates in testing, but there's a lot of scarcity for DevOps engineers because people are not having the expertise, right skills. They are mentioning the tools in their resume, but not matching the company standards or the company needs, right? So there's a still scarcity for a pure DevOps, or else with the real knowledge of a DevOps engineer. That's a gap there. So if you can learn it and bridge in that gap, obviously more doors will open, more opportunities will be open for you. So if you have the goal of achieving a job with a good pay, with a good demand, with a good credibility, you will add credibility to your team. Not that you just go and just work on any user. You should stand apart from the crowd, right? So that's where these tools comes into. So this is what is DevOps and why DevOps came in. I think I made these things clear. Let me also, one thing I will do before I go for the questionnaire, one last thing. Comparing the normal waterfall methodology with, waterfall, Agile, and DevOps. Okay. Uh, in waterfall, there is a development. After development, only testing begins. After testing only, it would be deployed onto first to deployment server, then to test server, then to prod servers, then monitor. Okay, but with Agile, development testing are happening parallelly, iteratively, continuously. Till here it's good, but then deployed manually to lower, then to dev, then test and prod. More manual. Monitoring also manual. But then came DevOps, continuous testing, continuous development, continuous testing, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and continuous monitoring. That's what is DevOps. If you want me to differentiate with respect to the teams, here dev team, QA team, ops team are working in silos, in separation. There is no proper understanding, no proper collaboration. First scenario we discussed, right? Each one doesn't understand challenges of others. They are separate because the other team comes into play only after the first stage is done. So no proper collaboration, blame game, no proper understanding, no good productivity. Then came Agile. Because of development testing happening parallelly, it could bring these two teams together. That's why I told I'll put both of them under, just to refer them as dev team or dev and QA almost together. They understand challenges of each other. But ops team is still left over in isolation. They'll hand over the application. They have to struggle for the setting up the application with the dependencies and all, a challenge there, right? Then came DevOps, where even because everything is happening parallelly, every day there'll be development, there'll be testing, there'll be deployments also every day, multiple times in a day as well. So these three teams were brought together, which is called DevOps. Means they're brought together. They're working as a same team under the same umbrella with the proper collaboration, proper understanding, but doesn't mean that's a single team which does everything. No, that's not the notation. Hope this is clear for everyone.
Ma'am, actually, Agile is the one actually implemented in Azure, ma'am, right?
These are methodologies, okay? These are not any platform based. Like I told you, it's not that waterfall will be implemented in AWS, this is in Azure. No, there's nothing as such. These are irrespective of the platform. They can be implemented on cloud or in on-prem or on any cloud. They're
Okay.
methodologies. There's a process, that's all.
Okay, got it, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have one question about the CI/CD pipeline.
Hmm.
Shall we see the complete setup of CI/CD? Because in interview, most of the time they ask the real question like how to set up the CI/CD pipeline in actual.
Of course, we will create multiple pipelines in this course. It's a complete hands-on. DevOps course is complete hands-on except today. From day one, like on 6th October itself, we will start the hands-on. Okay, this is just the theoretical part to see what is what. And here is the glimpse of it. One second. Huh. This is the pipeline. I have brought it to the presentation. This is
Ma'am,
just the-
you're not sharing the screen, ma'am.
No, no, it's
and
able to see.
everyone can see the screen. I'm sharing from the beginning.
No, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am. We are able to see the screen.
You have to open your Zoom, maximize your Zoom, go to that screen page. Okay, so this is the pipeline, just to show you the glimpse. It will take time to build this pipeline. It will take 2 months to build this pipeline step by step. Okay, like this, we'll create this pipeline not on a single app. We'll create this on multiple applications. Multiple applications, like we'll create it on a monolithic application. We'll create it on a microservice application as well. Okay, just as you asked, I'm showing that sample. Okay, let's come to the
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
discussion. Yeah. Coming to this waterfall, whatever we discussed is all documented here. That is for you to read over. All these presentations were also shared in your LMS. You have access to all these presentations in your management system. Okay, and this is the like what is DevOps, whatever I explained here, comparing all the three methodologies. See here, after design you have coding, after the testing, deployment. In Agile you have development, coding happening iteratively, but in DevOps all these three are repetitive and iterative, right? So coming to roles and responsibilities of DevOps engineer, one of the roles and responsibilities is working on that CI/CD pipeline. There are many other roles to build the platform, to build the infrastructure with Terraform, to provide high availability of your application by deploying into Kubernetes, by monitoring it with Prometheus. Those are all your roles and responsibilities. We will deep dive into the roles. Whatever scenarios we are covering are nothing but the roles, your responsibilities you do, or else your day-to-day activities in your DevOps as a DevOps engineer. Okay, we will deep dive into once we get into that started with the topics. And here are the list of the tools like Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Ansible, Terraform, Kubernetes, Prometheus, some AWS services for DevOps. Right here, I missed a few of the topics are not listed here. Apart from this, there are also topics covered like JFrog, Artifactory JFrog, also Argo CD is covered. These are all the latest additions to the course. Argo CD, JFrog, and EKS service is covered anyway. EKS is the paid service of Kubernetes manager service. Even I'm covering that, which is a realist, which has got lot many real use cases, right? And this can be implemented on on-prem or any cloud. As an example of one cloud, I'm going through some services on AWS for DevOps. Okay, and let me tell you one thing. Again, people will have, should I learn it on AWS or Azure? Companies need people with knowledge in one cloud. It could be any cloud. They are not bothered about whether it is AWS, because the idea is all these clouds are similar. If you have experience or knowledge in one cloud, you are able to work on any other cloud, because it's a like technologies are evolving. Many technologies, many clouds are coming. It's a AWS today. Tomorrow it might be something else. People should be in a way to grab and jump into any other technology. That's what organizations are looking for. They are not bound to a particular cloud. So don't worry about which cloud we should learn. If you know one cloud, you are good to go with any other cloud. That should be your perspective. Okay. So these are the just a brief list of the tools, and in our website also you can check that out. Here is the course content. Syllabus. Okay, introduction to DevOps is what we are doing today. And then comes some Linux basics. But some of the tools needs Linux, so we'll be covering Linux also. Okay, we'll be covering the Linux basics, whatever needed. If you are completely new, don't have to worry. Everything will be going from the basics. The basics of Linux will be covered. And then the version control system, Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. Under Kubernetes, again, you have EKS. This is the managed service I'm talking about. And this course content is still need, there are many other topics I'm covering which are not listed here. Terraform, Ansible, Prometheus, Grafana, and these are all the AWS services I'm covering. These services I'm covering These are not like we just start AWS topic today and complete in 5 days. No, these are spread throughout the course. Means they are horizontally spread throughout the course. Means as per the scenario, we'll pick up the service. So tomorrow I need a server, then we'll talk about EC2. Tomorrow I need high availability, then we use EKS. So as per the use cases, as per the topics, we'll cover it. Right? So this is how it is. And these are the services we will be using. And apart from this, some services, DevOps specific services like code deploy, code build, code commit are covered here. But these are used very less in real time. These services, the last 4 services are used maybe 2%, I would say. Right? So you don't have to focus more on it, more focus on till the 13th module. But yes, I'm covering all of these things. Like I told you, Argo CD is not listed here. JFrog is not listed here. We'll add them, but I'm already covering them in the course. Means there are things covered more than the topics that are listed here. And there's a question from Raj, Tarun Raj, how we will communicate on daily basis. Is there any Slack channel? Yes, thanks for asking this. That's the most important thing. There will be a private WhatsApp group created, okay, for all the registered candidates. So you can ask your questions every day in the class. Apart from this, during your hands-on, if you are stuck up or any questions, you can post them in the WhatsApp group. Okay, our team will respond. Me or anyone in my team will respond for your queries, and that's how you can resolve your queries and proceed with your hands-on.
Do you provide this recording for today's lecture?
Every day recording will be provided in your LMS. Today also in your LMS, you already created a trial access to this course, to this batch, right? It will be posted in
Yes,
that
yes,
LMS.
yes.
Everyday class recordings will be provided along with the relevant notes, relevant assignments, relevant quiz, and so on. Sample resume preparation, mock interviews will be there, interview questions are there. Everything curated here, so you don't have to struggle, worry, and move or search all over the internet to get each thing. Everything is available here. If you can master whatever I'm covering here, like you can clear your interviews definitely for sure with confidence. You can also work on your projects independently. That's the assurance I can give for the people joining my course.
Awesome, ma'am.
Any more questions you have before I talk about the
Yeah, yes, I have one
token
question.
today?
If
Yes.
if suppose I automated the CI/CD pipeline, okay, I also implemented a scale down, scale up, everything. Okay, I written the script for to manage the Kubernetes, Docker, everything. I automated everything. Then why I need a DevOps engineer?
The DevOps engineer is nothing but who knows these tools. If you are doing it, you are nothing but a DevOps engineer.
Eh, Okay, suppose he
Oh,
automated.
okay. Got your question. So initially you are doing it for the first time, right? For the first time in the
Mm,
pipeline design, you need like, let's say 4 engineers. Okay, they'll design it. Once it is designed, everything is automated. You just need 1 or 2 people there to fix the broken pipelines, to fix the things, right? If something is broken, something went wrong, we still need people. That's where 2 people are enough for that. Other people, they do have other tasks, right? They have to spin up the infrastructure. Even automate infrastructure is automated with Terraform. That's a separate section that need not necessarily be included in the pipeline. It may be or may not be. Separate team is needed for spinning up the infra. Separate team is needed for actually monitoring. So at least if you don't have a separate team, you need a DevOps engineer there, right? Even that is also DevOps.
one,
There's a separate team for monitoring. Those are all also DevOps engineers who focus on monitoring part, who focus on infrastructure provisioning part, who focus on security part.
one more question.
Mm,
I am a .NET developer. I'm
mm,
attending many interviews.
mm,
HR is expecting. Means I have a knowledge into the DevOps also.
mm,
Okay, knowledge or experience actually. They need an experienced guy in DevOps also as well, along with the .NET. But
mm.
I am thinking, how can I become the expert in both? Either I can become the expert either in .NET or DevOps.
Like I told you some time back, right? You are a developer. You still want to continue as developer only, but still you need to know DevOps. You don't have to be expertise on that. You should at least know what's happening over there. right? Like
Yeah,
what's
I am
happening in
knowledge,
the
but they are expecting they are
they're
expecting
expecting that
expert.
means like let's say, see, there are some organizations where they want a DevOps engineer. And also, like, let's say, development, if they can get a DevOps engineer, so they'll ask the same developer to do this complete pipeline creation also. There are projects as such. Developers will be creating the pipelines and do end-to-end things. So that could be their expectation. You see where you fit in. Let's suppose you want to focus on development only. Choose those such job descriptions. But
No,
what
there is actually
is
now
this?
I'm facing the actually I am a .NET developer, but now I
Hmm.
am not a full stack developer. Also, I'm not a DevOps engineer. But
Hmm.
I'm searching the job. Each day, GD have this. They are expecting candidates should have experience in DevOps and as a full stack developer. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm thinking, how can I become the expert in full stack as well as a DevOps?
That's what, like I told you, right? Even though you are a developer, you should know DevOps because that's a methodology. Your code is going through the pipeline. You should know these things. Get started to have the knowledge. Later on, gain the expertise. You are already a developer. You don't have to learn or do anything with that .NET, right? That's already there with you. Now learn this Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, how your pipeline is traversing through. You definitely, because you're working in the methodology, everyone should learn it. That's what I'm telling. Even though you are a tester or developer, everyone should have the knowledge. That's what, because the methodology changed completely. If you don't know the methodology, you just write the code, you don't know how your code is traversing, it doesn't work, right? So people should have the skill set. Let's say not a very expertise, but at least knowledge. Slowly you have to develop that expertise.
They are asking very experience level question in the
Need
DevOps. I
to,
attended
once
some
you keep
interviews.
working in this methodology, you get a knowledge of that, right? Once you work on hands-on on those things, you get that expertise. In our course, we are covering that on multiple applications where you gain that expertise. So you can add those in your resume, saying that you have involved or engaged into those pipelines, how you have worked closely with those pipelines to see how your code is traversing end to end. So through hands-on experience, through practice, you can gain that.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So all the
Ma'am, I'm sorry
yes,
to
yes.
interrupt you. What about the projects before facing the interview, like live project or final project of this after completion of this course?
May I know what is meant by live project for you?
Uh, Not live project. I mean, the project which will be helpful for our resume
Right,
building.
correct.
So yeah,
Yes, sure, Milind. I'll
yeah.
help you with that.
Thanks.
So I just want to make a correction here. Live projects has a different meaning, but people are misusing this term. If I can provide a live project, I will be starting a company. That's the case with anyone. Don't trust that you are provided with a live project. Okay, live project has a different meaning. So now let's talk about how do you provide the projects here. Yes, we will create, like I told you, right? I'll provide you two projects. If you want more also, I can provide you. In the class, in the course, I'm covering it on two projects. Two projects is, one is monolithic one is a microservice based. One is monolithic is a Java Maven project. Another microservice is PHP database. Front end will be PHP, back end is a database. That's a microservice. Each service is dependent on the other. Right? There's a different kind of architecture for microservice applications in Kubernetes. So I'm covering both of them. Right here, and another thing is for a DevOps, you wherever you go, okay, not only with me, you may go for training with anyone else. You shouldn't be asking like which projects will be covered. Rather, you should be asking what kind of pipelines we'll cover. Because let's suppose you are learning, you are taking up a course for Java. For example, let's say you are enrolled for Java course. Then you should ask what projects will be covered. Means whether you will be helping me building some online shopping application, or whether you will be helping me building some banking application. Those questions you can put there, because that's where they develop the application. Here for us, the questions should be like, once your application is ready, like, okay, it could be a Java application, or it could be Python application, or it could be PHP application. DevOps methodology doesn't change. DevOps tools doesn't change. DevOps commands doesn't change. Means DevOps commands, in sense, commands with each of these tools like Git, Docker, those doesn't change. We don't have anything to do whether it is developed in .NET, whether it is developed in Java and all. What matters for is what type of application it is, how many pipelines we are creating there, what are all the tools we are integrating, how are we automating it. Am I making sense? Yeah, that's what you should look at. So it
Yes,
could be
yes.
Java application or it could be .NET application. As a DevOps engineer, nothing changes for me to create a CI/CD pipeline. Simple things, small things changes, but DevOps engineer is not responsible for those changes. Again, developers are responsible for those changes, right? So coming to your question, yes, we'll be covering on two projects. These are the pipelines we are going to create. Of course, we'll be creating more than I don't remember the number because we create so many pipelines as per the context. Just a second. This is the example. Like whenever developer write the code and put it in GitHub, we will create a pipeline such that it will build and execute. It will pull and build using some build automation tools. It will execute some automation test cases. Those test cases may be developed in Selenium, UFT, JMeter, JUnit, whatever it is. Then deploy, containerize it with a Docker, deploy it on Kubernetes for high availability and resiliency. Then configure the infrastructure, provision the infrastructure with Terraform and configure it with Ansible. And then monitor it with some monitoring tool like Prometheus, but visualize it on a dashboard like Grafana, and send the reports or the email alerts to the respective teams. And this pipeline, whatever I'm showing here, is irrespective whether it could be on cloud or it could be, one sec. This could be on cloud or on-prem also. So once after this course, you would be able to create them anywhere. But as an example of one cloud, I'm also covering it on AWS. Here, that's where means to implement DevOps. Yes, all these tools are used on cloud also. Few specific services will be there like code build, code deploy and all. Though that percentage is just maybe 2%, I would say. Even that is covered. Okay, so this pipeline, it could be your developers might be writing that code in Java, .NET, whatever, the pipeline still remains same. Okay, but the nature of the application, whether it is a monolithic one or a microservice one, again, if it's a microservice, are we deploying it with Helm? Are we deploying it with Kubernetes straight away? All of those use cases, all of those scenarios I'm covering. Am I making sense? It depends on nature of your application. Means, let's suppose it's a monolithic. I'll have only one container. I think marker is not writing on this page. One second. Okay. So if it's a monolithic, I'll have only one Docker container, one Docker image. Let's say one Docker image. If it's a microservice, I'll have 5 Docker images. Of course, they'll be created as containers. They should communicate. How are you establishing their communication and deploying it in the pipeline? This is where the difference comes in. Difference, one of the differences. Okay, and also how are you deploying it on a cluster? Let's say it's a one container application like monolithic. I will deploy it as a standalone Docker container. Maybe I can deploy it with a Compose or Swarm. But if it's a critical application with 5 microservices, 5 images, I'll put it in Kubernetes for high availability. Means I have multiple pipelines. One pipeline, monolithic one is going with a Compose. Monolithic one is going with a Docker standalone. Another critical application, another pipeline which is integrated with Kubernetes. So this is how the difference comes in. Hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to cover giving you the brief about these things
Yes, ma'am.
in an hour,
Yes.
so I might be sounding a bit faster because these are huge things. Okay, it takes some time. We have almost like some 10 to 12 days on Kubernetes, I think. So those are vast topics. I'm trying to just give you some overview on it so you get the point. That's where the difference comes in. Yes, we are going to create a pipeline with Compose. We are going to create a pipeline with Docker Swarm. We are going to create a pipeline with Kubernetes. Why you should all these pipelines? 3 pipelines here itself came in, right? Why? Because if it's a monolithic, Compose is enough, or else a small environment, Swarm is enough. If it's critical where SLOs are tight, you need Kubernetes, so that pipeline is covered. And also, I have a pipeline where I'm deploying it to Kubernetes via Argo CD. I have pipeline to deploy to Kubernetes via Jenkins. I'm going to create another pipeline where it deploys with Argo CD. Another use case, another scenario, right? So this is how, depending on the scenarios, we have multiple. I'm covering all the types there, like integrating different tools, different ways to deploy in Kubernetes. You can deploy it through Jenkins, you can deploy it through Argo CD, you can deploy it through Ansible. I'm covering there 3 pipelines there itself, another 3 pipelines. So different scenarios, real use case are covered. So obviously, for each scenario, a different pipeline comes in. That's what you should look in. It could be any application. It could be developed in .NET, Java, whatever. Hope I made it clear for everyone.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
questions?
Helpful. Thank you.
So that is about the course. The benefits are, like I told you, you can clear your interviews with confidence and work in the projects independently, and you'll stand out in the crowd by gaining expertise if you could master whatever I'm covering here. Don't get overwhelmed, don't get confused with a lot of things over the internet. Okay, rather than good, I'd say they were doing bad with the DevOps, confusing with so many things, bringing a lot of things, making people overwhelmed, right? So just be cautious, stay focused to learn the things. Now, coming to this part. So, if you are interested to buy the course, actual course fee is this 22,000, and you can purchase it with an offer today.